Rochester, and thank you for joining me again with Karen's Corner, where I provide inspirational tips and tidbits to help you change your life and bring a little inspiration, hopefully, that you can think about ways that you want to implement new things into your life to have a better life. So we've been going over the book 365 Ways to Change Your Life by Suzanne Somers. Right now in the book it's the weekend, so there's really not much information in there, so I thought I would read from another book today. Today I am reading from Marianne Williamson, The Gift of Change, and this is on From Separation to Relationship. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the segment for today. Each of us is the center of our own universe. Everything we experience is happening inside us, not outside of us. At a deeper level, there is no world outside of us. The world as we know it is a manifest projection of our thoughts and forms. No more, no less. It is thought up and is thought up by each one of us. We are slavishly devoted to the ego's notion that we're our bodies. We are tiny specks of dust surrounded by a huge universe over which we have no control. And if that's what we think, then we will be experiencing that. But there is another way of viewing yourself and our world. A world in which we recognize that our life force is limitless because we are one with the unlimited universe. No matter what we do or what we have done now, in any moment we are temples embodying the glory of the universe. Any situation seen through the light of this understanding is miraculously transformed. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as you appear in the world, and now see a golden light radiating out of your heart and beyond your body. And as it casts the light to the entire world, now imagine someone else standing next to you, friend or foe, and see the same light within them. Watch the light as it grows to cover his or her body and expands all beyond it. Now see the light in the other person as it merges with your own light. On this level of spirit, there is no place where others stop and you start. If you do this with anyone, your relationship with that person will subtly change. In the Christmas carol where we sing, "Do you see what I see?" there is a deeper questioning being asked here. Instead of just saying, "Do you see the physical child in the manger?" we're asking, "Do you see what I see? Do you see our consciousness?" As in, do you see the spiritual reality all around us? Do you grasp it? Can you imagine it? For if you do, you can have it. The possibilities are endless. When we realize we're not who we think we are, that the world has taught us a huge and unholy lie, we realize that other people who aren't who they appear to be either. And neither are the relationships. For as a spirit, we are not separate. We are one. An idea does not leave its source. You are literally an idea, which is why you cannot separate from the universe. And the world you experience is an idea in your mind, which is why you can't separate from it. We're like sunbeams, thinking we're separate from the sun, or a wave being separate from the ocean. But we are not separate, just as the sunbeam and the wave are not separate from them. The idea of our separation is nothing but a vast illusion, and yet that's where most of us live. In the illusion that you're over there and I am over here. That illusion that we use to separate us is the source of all our pain. The ego suggests that the space will be filled with the one, that one person, rather than by a corrected sense of our relationship to everyone. Yet that is a lie. If in fact you are one with everybody, yet you think you are separate, then imagine how many people you are subconsciously missing being with. No wonder we feel such a hole, such an existential emptiness inside us. What we miss is a right-minded relationship with everyone. Feeling separate from love, we feel a panic so deep we don't even recognize it, just as the earth is moving as fast as we can't feel it. Our hysteria is so deep that we don't hear our own scream anymore. Yet we do anything to assuage the pain, and we try in ways both healthy and unhealthy. We keep trying to fill that hole, that only surrendering to our love for all and all of life can fill. And always there is an anger that the separation engenders, our anger at feeling separate, although we're not consciously aware from what. This new mind awaits us in this next stage of our evolutionary journey. We are being challenged by these forces of history to grow into this mind, to mutate, as it were, in order for our species to survive. And when we do, we realize that we are not just like each other, we actually are each other. Then we will begin to find life itself outside the realm of love no longer acceptable. In time, it will become literally unthinkable, and becoming unthinkable, it will cease to exist. How many times have you seen a pattern in your relationships you felt powerless to change? How often have you despaired, ever breaking free of self-sabotaging behavior? How deeply have you panicked at the thought that you might never get it right? Our despair and our panic are natural responses to the relationship dramas we create in our lives. But our tears are not what we think they are, because the predicament itself is not what we think it is. What separates us from the others is not just codependency or neediness or any other form of mere psychological issue. Our barriers to love represent a cosmic force ensconced within the human psyche in a dark and insidious way, holding dominion temporarily, though wicked, over the mental functioning of each of us. It is completely irrelevant what form of barrier it takes. Our concentration on the form of fear is an ego ploy, keeping us stuck in the problem, like finding a thief in your house and insisting you must know their name before you call the police. Call for help immediately. You do not need to know their name. The ego is our deepest enemy, masquerading as our closest friend. It is nothing we should fear. However, because the moment we recognize it is merely a mental miscreation, simply a false belief about who. The ego is our deepest enemy, masquerading as one of our closest friends. It is nothing we should fear. However, because the moment we recognize it is merely a mental miscreation, simply a false belief of who we are, it will disappear into nothingness from whence it came. Most of us, all of us in fact, except for the few enlightened masters, live to some extent in the state of ego, in the state of love withhold. We are waiting to see if a person is good enough to receive our kindness, our generosity, and our love. People hardly have dates anymore. We have auditions. We think we need to understand a person to see whether or not they are worthy to receive our love. Someone's religion, looks, financial status, and position do not make them who they are, and should not dictate whether or not we feel they're appropriate for our love. Yet, we do that. We look at those things to see, are they worthy of my time and love? All of us have been born completely with an open heart, making no distinctions between who deserves our love or not. Yet as we grow up and are taught fear, we learn to turn our heart and our love off. Do we really want our children to live in fear of talking to anyone, of being open to kindness from other people? No, I don't think so. I mean, wouldn't it be awful to see a child be fearful of someone helping them open a door or help them up a step when they're looking, when it looks like they're going to stumble? But a lot of children do react with fear, or parents come in, the helicopter parent, oh, stop, don't talk to my child, don't touch my child, ah. But that's creating too much fear, and that's closing off the hearts of children to other people. And that's very, very, it's not a good thing. I mean, we're really here to love each other and to help each other, and not everybody is a bad person. Not everyone wants to hurt you. And until we can show other people love, it doesn't matter who they are, we will never receive the love that we are looking for. We have to be open to love. We have to give love to receive love. For it is only when we learn to love each other that we will prepare the table for ourselves to receive our best love. We should teach our children, yes, don't get in cars with strangers and don't walk away with a stranger. But if someone's there just trying to help your child, whether even tying their shoelace or opening a door for them or turning on a faucet, be open and receptive and show your children that they shouldn't be fearful of every instance. If we live in fear constantly, what kind of life is that going to be? What kind of life are you creating for your children? They're not going to want to leave their house. They're not going to want to, trust anybody. And then where will our society be 20 years from now when we have all these kids who don't want to, trust each other and don't want to help each other? What an awful world that would be. And just imagine, we're going to be older and these are the kids who are going to take care of us, but yet they're going to be fearful of each individual stranger. That's just not a good way to be. If we show love to each other, if we practice our loving kindness that we have within each other and share it with each other, and our generosity, just start by smiling at somebody, opening a door. It's a small gesture that will really make someone's day better. And just, little things go a really long way. Teach your children it's okay to talk to strangers. People teach us. Each person can teach us something. Each person has a story inside them. And if we limit ourselves and don't talk to people, what a sheltered, boring life you're going to have, where you could really experience so many more things by engaging with someone you don't know. Not everybody's out to hurt you. And if you show love, you're going to get love back. And teach your children to be open-hearted and loving and kind. This is Karen Lambert with Loving Rochester and Karen's Corner. I hope you enjoyed today's segment of opening yourself to love and loving each other, because that's really what we're all the same. We're all the same and we all need love. And the more love we show to each other, the more love will come back to us. So I'll see you tomorrow. Be sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell on YouTube and join me on Facebook. And also you can find us at lovingrochester.com. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Thank you.